What's up, everybody? You're watching J-Rock, and this is J-Rock Does Stuff. And we're here in the fish room today, and I wanted to start a series called J-Rock Sucks at Fish Keeping. And the reality of that is that I don't really suck at fish keeping, but that we experience a lot of things that aren't so much fun or that are troublesome in the hobby of fish keeping. And I tend to run into those things quite a bit. And in fact, I would say I almost always have something going on in my fish room at any point in time, in one tank or another, where I'm trying to fix something or trying to do something or trying to learn something or something to that extent. So I wanted to start this series to kind of highlight some of the things that I experience. I'm not really trying to teach anybody anything, but more or less trying to show you my experiences, and maybe you can learn something from it. So let's take a look at what I got going on here. This fish right here has an anchor worm, and I've never had anchor worms before. So that is today's battle. And I'm learning about anchor worms today. And I've been in the hobby for quite a bit, since the 90s, and I've never had anchor worms. And so today is the day that I get to learn about how to deal with anchor worms. So this is a yellow barb or a gold barb. And these guys I got from a bad home. They were not taken care of very well, and they ended up having septicemia from Aeromonas bacteria, and it's something that they've lived with basically their whole lives. I started off with 6 of them. I have 3 left. The other ones have died basically just from old age. These guys are pretty old. I've had them for about 3 or 4 years, and they were, who knows how old they were, but they were a good size. So I would say they were at least a year or 2 old. So they're probably coming up on anywhere from like 5 to 7 years old. And they're just kind of dying off little by little. This guy, though, is not too happy right now. But we're going to get him fixed up. So this first episode in my series J-Rock Sucks at Fish Keeping is going to be about taking care of this guy's anchor worms. So basically, from what I can tell, is I happen to know that my fish eat plants, and so I don't usually keep real plants in this tank, but I happen to have this overgrown plant that I needed to get out of another tank, and so I just dropped it in here, and I think that's where this may have came from. So with that in mind, I'm going to set up a quarantine tank in a 10-gallon tote that I have that's clear, and we're going to get him medicated, and we're going to get this tank taken care of, and we're going to get his anchor worm pulled out of him. So let's start doing that stuff. I should also mention that today was water change day, and that's how I happened to notice this. I don't think it's been like this for very long, if at max a day or 2. I usually take a good peek at all my fish every day, so this couldn't have been in there for very long. So we're going to get them taken care of, and we'll see you guys on the other side. One of the things I wanted to bring up and talk about here as a treatment for these is that you can use a insecticide like Sevin or a nicotinoid insecticide. And I have a nicotinoid insecticide, and I'm not sure how you would introduce that into the tank, but I just wanted to bring up that I thought it was interesting that anchor worms were killed by these products. I have Sevin for insects outside, and I use a systemic insect granule And if you see here, the active ingredient is indicum is that. So just real quick, here's a bunch of other information on treating these anchor worms, and it's my job as a fish keeper to sort through all this information and see which treatment applies to me the best as far as which products I have to use in my fish room or which ones are accessible to me, and apply those to fix my fish. So that's another one of the things that is kind of frustrating as a fish keeper, that you have to sort through all these different methods and ways of going about doing things in order to find the method that works for you. But it's also good to find out what does work for you and what doesn't work for you. That way you know in the future what to do and what not to do. Okay, so what I learned today was that there's several different methods for treating these anchor worms. And so what I'm gonna do here today is I'm gonna take my fish out in quarantine, and we're gonna physically remove the anchor worm that I can see, and then we're gonna treat the fish for a bacterial infection and hope that we don't see any more anchor worms. I'm also going to hopefully get some product from a local store called Murdoch's here, which is like a cattle store or like a farming store, and I'm hoping that they have a dog dewormer that I can use. And I'm going to insert that into some Repashy, and I'm going to feed that to my fish, and I'm also going to treat this tank just in case anything is going on in there. Alright, so here we are the next morning. This is about 12 hours later, and you can see he's getting all fixed up and healed up here.